My name is PJ Svejda, and I have been an artist here in Orlando about 6 years, maybe 7 years, but in total, I would say probably about 18 years I've been an artist. The pieces that I chose to show at Corbett Cove, they're part of a really special collection for me. A lot of the pieces came from a group called We Speak for the Trees, and that was a collection I did specifically for the Rainforest Foundation, and it was about endangered animals, endangered species that are endangered due to habitat loss. There's also a couple other pieces in there from other collections, all dealing kind of with nature and conservation, and kind of leading on this hope that we do better for all other animals and creatures that we share the earth with. I would definitely say the biggest inspiration for me has been becoming a mom. So my art before I had my son is completely different than the art that I have now. Before I had him, I had my own struggles and issues. I was a lot younger, I was in my 20s, and so a lot of my art reflected the things that I was experiencing on a personal level. Then when I had my child, I started to see the world differently, and I started to care about things greater than myself. And that's when my focus on animals, environment, nature really kind of got a lot stronger, because I really wanted to preserve that for him as he grows up. So being outside, being in the woods, going on trails, being on the water, all that's been so important on my journey as being a mother and raising a child. So that's definitely been a huge influence into my work. So all of my work has a lot of messages behind it. I have a background in illustration, so it really comes through in my paintings, and a lot of it, the theme is coexistence and focusing on what's important. I would say the one that's the most narrative is probably the one right behind me. So the piece is called The Horses Are Okay. A few years ago, there were hurricanes back to back to back, and it was just like every time you turn on the news or social media, all you saw was people just really struggling with the devastation of all these hurricanes. But anyway, I was watching a video of a man that went back to his farm after everything was completely destroyed. And he was this big, like, man, and he was filming, and then out of nowhere his horses came back, and he just started crying like a baby. And it was so touching, because it was just like everything was destroyed, but the horses were okay. And so the piece behind me, we have a lot happening. We have the aftermath of the hurricane, which you don't see right away. Right away you see the horses, you see the mother and the foal, and then people always ask, what's the numbers? Why are there numbers on them? So with prey animals, such as horses, the worst thing you can do is put them inside a confined space, because they'll end up hurting themselves trying to get out. So during hurricanes, tornadoes, anything like that, you want to write your phone number on them and set them free, because they'll naturally know where to go to stay safe. So that's where the numbers are. And then once you start looking, you see all the devastation, but then you also see like the pretty rainbow sky, the cotton candy colors coming through. So it's this contrast of beauty and devastation, but the underlying message is that the horses are okay. And so that's kind of what is important to take away from that, is kind of all the things that you can replace, really cherish the things that you can't. So I would say if you are new to Orlando, or if you're young and coming up, the best advice I can get is be present, be everywhere all the time, go to all the gallery shows, submit to all the opportunities. Even if you don't get in, that's okay. I mean, there's a lot of rejection. I've been rejected so many times, but then I've been accepted so many times, and it's just when it's right, when it's meant to be, it will be. So being present, going to all the shows, being supportive of other local artists, it's really like what you put out is what you're gonna give, or what you're gonna get. So I know a lot of artists that have been successful just by building those relationships and showing up and being present. So that's my biggest advice, is to not hide behind a screen or not hide in your living room, but like show up, be there, make friends, be part of the community, and submit to shows whenever there's a call to artists.